welcome to The Toast. I'm your host of The Toast, your newscast with all your wedding needs. I'm Antre'chelle. Welcome back, friends. We have a great show lined up for you today. What does the term cold feet mean to you? Because a lot of people fear this word. One of the biggest fears of an engaged couple is one of them saying that they got cold feet, either early or right before the wedding. A lot of people may feel a sense of happiness that they are engaged, but also feel a sense of fear because it is such a big move to make in your life. Growing up and getting married or starting a family is one of those major milestones in your life that gets your feelings going. You have to deal with those emotions, and it's required that you communicate your feelings with your partner so that nobody has doubts. It is important to remember that everyone gets skeptical about their choices and to consider why you decided to be with your person. At the end of the day, there has to be love there for you to be engaged, so keeping a clear mind can keep things smooth sailing between you and your fiance. Bachelor and Bachelorette parties are crucial to the wedding process. However, there are other ways to go about celebrating the people that helped you along the way and celebrating your last night before the big day. Nowadays, the vacation route can only be one of the most exciting ways to have some carefree fun before jumping the broom. Your bridesmaids and groomsmen have your back during the entire wedding process, helping with the essentials and supporting you emotionally. You and they both deserve to spend time relaxing after all the planning. You can enjoy excursions, visit spas, do photo shoots, and see the world with people closest to you before one of the biggest milestones in your life. Of course, you have to break out of the color-coordinated vacation outfits. This can be a way to have one-of-a-kind bachelor or bachelorette parties. Partying on an island, cruise, ski resort, or beach is the best way to spend your pre-wedding days. Your bridesmaids and groomsmen will thank you. Married and honeymoon abroad. Having a destination wedding is a great idea because you can invite all your closest friends and family to make it small and intimate. One of the other benefits of being on vacation for your wedding is having the honeymoon directly after. The ideal destination wedding ceremony will look something like this. First, you and your closest friends and family meet up to have dinner and discuss the ceremony. The following day is spent with the bachelor and bachelorette parties, which is male and female separate. The two separate groups celebrate and throw a mini party, and the bride and groom are away from each other. The next day is the wedding, and the couple either has the ceremony separately or with their friends and family. Then there's a reception dinner to celebrate the bride and groom. Finally, the newly married duo separates from their family to enjoy their honeymoon, and guests are free to enjoy the rest of their time with whatever they want to do. Courtney and Travis are known for their outward PDA and teenage-like antics. The two have been seen cozying up for months, and the new reboot of the Kardashians gives us a closer look into their relationship, as well as the proposal. With just a few episodes in, we got to see the planning phase of Travis's beautiful proposal to Courtney, which included hundreds of roses and ivory candles on the beach at sunset. The two tied the knot in Las Vegas after Travis performed at the Grammys on April 3rd, 2022. It was reported that Courtney loves the spontaneousness in their relationship, and Travis can't keep his hands off of her. The two got married without a license and are waiting the finalization of their prenup to make their union legal. The reality star and Blink 182 drummer had a micro wedding with an Elvis officiant who described them as kids in the candy shop walking in.
Hi, I'm Andrea Spears with Miss Myrtle's Bakery Shop. I'm the wedding cake designer and bakery manager. We started back in 2000, and our history of the bakery is my mother, Myrtle Jackson, who was a CEO and founder of the bakery, and I'm one of the co-founders with her. She recently passed away, but the history of the bakery, she wanted to start share with the world the goodness that she grew up on. When she buried her father back in 91, she discovered he didn't leave her anything, no inheritance or anything, and she was very disgruntled and really hurt by that, and she made a decision then that she would be the last Zachary in her family that would not leave their kids anything. So that inspired her to start this bakery, which was not just Donuts Bakery. We opened in December of 2000, and her goal was to just share with the world the goodness that she grew up on and start a legacy for her children and grandchildren. So now we've been in business 21 years, and we are in specialty is wedding cakes, birthday cakes, and cakes for all occasions. Also, we do desserts like sweet potato pie is one of our signature pies, and we're world famous for that. Pecan pies, oatmeal raisin cookies, old-fashioned tea cakes, and the list goes on. So we have a variety. We try to be the bakery of choice for Houston and all of the world. Now originally when we started our business, we was not just Donuts Bakery. At the end of last year, July of last year, we went through a name change. Myrtle, my mother, wanted to change the name to her namesake, which is Myrtle. And we came up with Myrtle's Bakery Shop. And that was in June, July when we actually officially changed the name. Unfortunately, my mom passed away in the end of September of 2021. And it's so touching that she wanted to change the name for her namesake, not knowing that she was leaving behind her legacy and she wanted to put her stamp on it. So that was some of the things. And this year we're planning on new ideas that she had started on last year for us to start doing. And because of her death, we had to put everything on hold. So now we're picking everything up. We're coming out with a line of cakes called Nana Cakes. It's something that was inspired by her. And she drew a picture of how she wanted her little cakes. And they're gonna be individually decorated little cakes for birthdays and everything, and they're called Nana Cakes. And so that's something we're gonna come out with in the month of March, for sure. And it's gonna be online where we can ship and deliver those Nana Cakes. Another thing is we're gonna start up our online shipping nationwide. That was something we started last year, and we had to put that on hold because of my mother's untimely passing. So there's a lot of things in the works for us, and also going into grocery stores. We had a line of product that was going to the grocery store, and we had to again also put that on hold because of my mom's untimely death. So there are some things in the works for 2022. No matter with COVID, we're gonna still move forward. It did put a halt on a lot of things that we had planned in the year of 2020 through 2021, and now we gotta pick it back up and start over and get these things moving and going. So when my mom was alive, a lot of our customers come in just to see her, and she would make them feel like they were number one and they were special, and that's something we're passing down. We're trying to take that on as well as treat our customers like she treated them and how we want to be treated. Also being family owned and operated, it's two generations. Myself, my sisters, Rosharon Cotton and Bridget Jackson, and my nieces. I have a slew of them that work here. And so it's 2 generations of us that is taking this business on. So it's really important when people come here that they feel family. We want to treat them like their family. And the value is that we are in a neighborhood that has gone through some changes. When we first moved here in 2000, a lot of businesses were shut down. And now it was called Dowling Street. Now it's Emancipation Avenue. And now there are more businesses back open. The street is more busier. There are more townhomes are being built. So the neighborhood is also going through gentrification. And that's the value, us being a family-owned and operated business, offering customer service, the love, and the best products as we use the best ingredients as well. Okay, for my brides, I always, due to COVID, we've changed some things. In the past, prior to COVID, I did an in-person consultation that was about 30 to 45 minutes long, which entailed cake sampling and having a discussion about their cake and designing their cake. And so a lot of times I have a lot of questions for them, and I ask them, where is their event? Do they have any allergies? Do they have a color scheme? How many people they're serving? How many invitations they sent out? And what are their expectations for their cake? Of course, most brides always answer they want their cake to taste good. And so that's, of course, with our product, we have a really good signature cake I always like to offer them and let them try without the fruit filling, with all the frim and phlegm. They try just a cake with the buttercream icing, and 9 times out of 10, they all choose that same cake without any fruit filling and all the extra stuff. And so for me, I always ask those questions. And typically, I like to prepare them before they get here, or before I do a Zoom. Now, fast forward with COVID, I do a virtual consultation, and then provide them cake samples.
It's not that. It's for me. It's just I really like to know too.
Prior to their consultation or afterwards, and we get to discuss their cake flavors a lot of times if they choose afterwards. But that's the list of things I offer them, and then typically they trust me. I have a passion for what I do. When they're uneasy or not sure about us, I make them feel comfortable. Especially when I do a one-on-one with them, they feel confident and comfortable that I'm gonna execute their plans and dreams into a cake. And so I have not had many bridezillas. Actually, I have only had 1 or 2. And I've been doing wedding cakes since 2001. And so I haven't had but 1 or 2 bridezillas. Like I said, everybody feel comfortable when they sit down with us, that I'm knowledgeable about with their cake. And even when they don't have a cake design in mind, I want to understand what their spirit is like, what their theme is. I get a feel of who they are, and I can tell them this is what I think their cake should look like, and they trust me. So,
how soon should they be get in contact with you?
I request that our customers get a hold of us at least 6 months. A year would be even better, but at least 6 months prior to their event. It gives them time to make a decision. A lot of times they come in here at the last minute, they have no clue, and they're the ones that spend the most time going back and forth on cake designs. So the sooner you get up, come to us or contact us about a wedding, the better it is for you and for me. Due to COVID, a lot of things are taking a lot longer. So if I have to order a certain cake stand, or order a certain type of cake design decorations, or certain flowers, anything, it's taking a lot longer because of COVID and due to the shortage of things. So right now I request everybody to at least get their order in 6 months prior to their wedding day. I have several, I have quite a few, but this one is in particular. And it was without a wedding cake, but it was a custom cake, because we also do custom cakes and birthday cakes. A lady from California called, and she was on the internet searching for a bakery in Houston. She didn't live here, but her sister lived here, was 75 years old, retired from a job, and she was a seamstress. And so the sister who lived in California wanted to order a cake. And going through the cake design, she wanted a sewing machine. And I never did a sewing machine before. So that was already stressful. So I quoted her one price. and it was a very expensive cake. So I was assuming that she would say no. I really tried to price myself out the box in hopes if she didn't want it, I'd be okay. But she said, oh, that's a good price. So I was like, I gotta eat my words and deliver her a cake. So she ordered it enough time, and I was expecting, like some customers pay a little bit at a time. She paid the full balance 6 months prior, and it was gonna be delivered here in Houston. So I did the cake on a Sunday. It took me 3.5 days to work on this cake. It was a lot of details. And the cake is sold on our website, so anybody can go and look at it. It's a sewing machine, Singer. And I delivered the cake on a Sunday, and I was pushing it. I spent the night here at the bakery. Things were breaking, falling apart, but anyway, got the cake there. And the cake was part of the wedding, part of the birthday. And I had to roll the cake in the middle of the party. Got a standing ovation. The sister ran up to me and thanked me so much and was crying that the cake came out far beyond what she imagined. And a week later, I got a letter from her in California thanking me, and she gave me a $300 tip. In addition to what I did, because I just went over and beyond. I didn't know what I was doing, but my love, and she saw that, and it touched me because I never walked into a room. I was nervous. I didn't know what they're gonna think. And I rolled the cake in, and everybody just stood up and clapped. So I thought there was clapping at the person who the birthday party was for, but they were clapping for me. And then I was clapping along with them, excited too. And they're like, no, it's for you. And I was like being the highlight of the birthday party. So I never had that experience before, so that touched me. And I've done a lot of weddings. I've had brides come back, and even brides come back and cry and thank me for their cake. I just had one about 6 months ago that came here at the bakery. We're open, we're closed walk-ins. So she came to the door and said, I need to speak to Andrea. So they thought it was somebody wanted to ask a question. She said, I need to hug you. Can I hug you? And I had to remember who she was. And she said, you remember you did my wedding cake a few months ago? And I said, oh yeah. And so she gave me a hug and said, it's so beautiful. So those little tidbits I take, and it helps keep pushing me. And I enjoy doing what I do, and I know that I have a passion for it. And I love meeting my brides in person because they get a chance to feel me. With COVID, I don't get a chance to get that feel. Right now, doing virtual consultations. I prefer in-person consultations. I get the chance to feel and let them feel my personality. And when I get to feel and connect with their personality, 9 times out of 10, I get that wedding cake order and they feel comfortable. I like that. So and they don't stress me. I don't get them bugging me. I don't get them calling me honey, because I've heard about a lot of bridezillas. So meeting me in person, they get a chance to say like she loves me. I can feel my cake is safe and I can trust her. And I feel confident, so I get that a lot. So I like that. There is an element of my wedding cakes I do offer is a custom design, which is they'll allow me, I get their ideas and I create them a cake. Most brides go online and see a cake on Google or Pinterest and send me a picture of that. But they come in with different elements of a bunch of different cakes, and I get a feel of their spirit and then their theme of their wedding, and then I get to understand, say, no, let's do this. And I actually draw them a cake and create them a design. I offer that. It's a little bit more because it's custom, and no one is going to be able to duplicate that cake. And I tell customers, what is your price budget? Do you mind, having to replicate someone else's cake, or do you want your own personalized cake that no one can duplicate? Because there's no two artists alike. I can try, but there's going to be a lot of elements that's not going to be the same. So that's the part I do offer, is a customized wedding cake. I can be contacted at Miss Myrtle's Bakery Shop at gmail.com. Andrea Spears, 713-951-9211. I enjoy being a part of the wedding industry because it brings joy. During this day and time, we're dealing with so much heartache and disappointment. Just seeing two couples getting together, making a union, and being a part of that, and helping them make memories, good memories, and especially with good cake and a beautiful cake, even adds to that memory. So I enjoy that.
On April 24th, Pam Patterson and Jacob Saldana got married and Minister Chris Kilgore officiated while they were on board a Southwest Airlines flight. The two had planned to get married in Vegas, but unfortunately, their flight was affected and they could not make it to get a license before their chapel appointment. So strangers on their flight became their wedding guests as they tied the knot in the air. An ordained minister, Chris Kilgore, was also headed to Vegas and just so happened to be on their flight. Once the captain turned off the seatbelt sign, the party began. This impromptu airline wedding is a great example of thinking outside of the box, and we love it. Congratulations, Pam and Jeremy. All right, guys, that ends this episode of The Toast, your newscast for all your wedding needs. I'm your host, The Toast, Antre'chelle. See you next time.